Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Beth. How you doing? Hello, people. Hello to the people watching live. Hello to the lurkers. Hello to the chatters. Hello to the people watching on replay once the stream is done. It's good to see everybody. I'm glad that you're showing up for a very exciting Nick Rekieta stream because I swear to you, it never ends with this guy. It is amazing. The content never ends. And today we are going to be talking about the latest problems and situations facing Nick Rekieta, problems of his own making that as an attorney, one would think he would know better than to get involved with or to instigate. It's incredible. And there are no children involved. There are no children with cocaine in the hair follicles involved. There's none of that. So, we are going to be discussing the case of the screenshotted Aaron Imholt data. Yes. Hey, Joe. How you doing? Good to see you. So, um, I just wanted to start off with a brief statement. This is my response to all the critics who have told me that um, I look bad. And no, it's not about appearance. Hey, Aunt, anyone who actually believes that I am going to get on my channel or on anyone's channel and I am going to defend the honor or the tender sensibilities of a woman who lied to several communities for 8 years in an effort to cover for a man who sent full frontal schnoods to a 13-year-old child has got another thing coming. I hope that everybody heard me. Particularly when the people who are criticizing me or criticizing Negs are coincidentally, they intersect with a group of people who have never once stood up to try and, I don't want to say defend my honor because that's fucking cringe, but who have never once stepped forward to defend their Jewish subscribers, their Jewish viewers, or Jews in general who have been killed, whose businesses have been wrecked, who have been terrorized on college campuses, who have been intimidated, whose hospitals have been infiltrated by Nazi coffee vendors, and probably who also uh, actually stand up for a bunch of rapists, criminals, murderers, and kidnappers. So you will have to beg my pardon. I will beg your pardon. But no, that is not something that will ever happen in this lifetime. That I am going to bend over backwards to defend the honor of a woman who lied to so many people. And then when she was called out, or when people would start to get on the right track of what had actually happened with Underhaven, she hired a bunch of doxers to go out, dig up dirt on people, and try and shut them up by intimidating them, by spreading lies about them. No, I'm sorry. We're not playing this fucking game. We're not playing this game. Not going to work with me. Mrs. Parker, who also was quite a bit of a racist herself, Mrs. Parker, who loved to make lengthy commentary about people's genitalia, about people's sex lives, about people's personal appearances. I'm sorry, but no. Where am I supposed to run for my crying towel? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I hope that we all understand each other. Hello, Anna. Hello, Pressure. Hey, Rebecca. Good to see you. All right, let's jump into this Rekieta thing. Let's do that. So, um, I think that we need to get started with some background so that all of you know what it is that we're talking about. Because it's a lot, you guys. And we are going to learn a lot today. It's going to be fabulous. I promise. All right. So this first channel is called Mr. Sen. And he did kind of a recap. I don't know if we're going to watch the whole video, but we're going to take a look at, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, no, it's not happening. All right. I hope that everybody heard me loud and clear. It is not happening. No. If you claim that you are a hey Opal, how you doing? Um, yeah, you know, it's I have watched this Rekieta mess unfold with so much interest and so much cringe. Um, and it is startling to me how things keep getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, this is a guy who somehow managed to pass the bar, um, get his license, and one would think that after practicing law, maybe he wasn't a very good lawyer. Not that that's the point, but that one would hope that he actually attended law school when they taught law and that he would understand that there are certain things that you cannot do in life. Midlife crisis or no midlife crisis, you can't do certain things and hold on to your status as a community leader, as a respected content creator, or even hold on to your professional certification. Now, Rekieta has not been disbarred. Okay, he just didn't pay the fee on his license. I guess he paid it, and his license has been renewed. And we're going to hear more about that later. Yeah, exactly. Same here. Same here. All right, so let's start off with this video so that we can figure out what happened now. And this is not recent, but it's the most recent, let's say, explosion of madness on the Rekieta front. Let's
my fellow centers. Today, we're going to do a little bit of catch up. There's been a lot going on. So let me catch up the speed. That lovely, lovely clip is a follow up from our other two videos. If you want to go look at them, very informative. They're the Rekieta law, identity fraud, scandal, blah, blah, blah. Two very important videos. I would highly suggest looking at them. But assuming you're already caught up, all right, we're going to go over this because this reveals pretty much the conclusion of sorts in that saga or those, whatever, those other two videos. So a major breaking Baldo news. BBN's investigation team took a brief look at Patrick Melton / NLO's fan Discord server and discovered some very interesting details.
Okay, I'm pausing here because I'm sure that most of you do not have any idea of who Patrick Melton is. Patrick Melton is a loser who is in, I don't even know which community. Is it the Dabbleverse? I have no idea. It doesn't really matter which communities. And he fancies himself to be an edgy boy comic who loves to make jokes about child predation. He's really disgusting and he's not funny, which is an even bigger crime. And it's amazing to me that now that Nick has basically lost every single one of his respectable allies, he is now forced to turn to people like Melton and Ethan Ralph. This is what he's left with. This is scraping the bottom of the barrel. Right, Rosalind. I tried I went through his Kiwi Farms thread because I had no idea who this guy was. I mean, I'd never heard of him before Rekieta and not until fairly recently also. And I thought, wow, this guy is a real piece of work. Hello, Donna. I knew you would pop up. We love us a good Rekieta stream. Let's continue.
In an unsecure text channel because no one in ever does OPSEC, named Steel Toe Nonsense. Patrick and his associates openly and sincerely talking Rekieta law, allegedly saving Aaron Emholt's data meticulously and sharing the data with Patrick Melton. It appears that Patrick Melton believes without a doubt that the leaks are real, and he has received more data than the public has seen.
Okay, you may be wondering, how did Nick Rekieta get Aaron Emholt's data? Well, at one point, when Aaron was over at Rekieta's house, he logged in to Rekieta's computer. And I guess he didn't take steps afterwards to erase the login information. And of course, keep in mind that April has been living with the Requetas, or at least with Nick, for months. And so Nick went in and he downloaded Aaron's information, including confidential, privileged communications between Aaron Emholt and his attorney, including contracts or proposals that he had sent out for a podcast or radio show to some media company. And idiotically and bafflingly decided that he was going to share this information with Patrick Melton. Now, Melton has been trying to do a tap dance and say, well, how do you know Rekieta gave it to me? Well, how the hell else would you get it? We know where it came from. So, yeah. So that happened. And of course, it ends up in Patrick Melton's Discord, where, of course, nobody took any steps to try to secure it. And so it was uncovered, and now the shit has hit the fan.
Patrick also states to his fans that he has been very misleading on purpose in what appears to be an intentional effort to obscure his intent to participate in criminal conspiracy. If this is indeed the case, Nevada's extensive journalist shield law does not protect him in the case of active participation in criminal acts.
That's right.
With the leak of these Discord logs, it appears neither Nick Rekieta or Patrick Melton can no longer deny their premeditated criminal malice to publicly expose Aaron Emholt's confidential data without authorization, which may be found to be violation of multiple Minnesota and Nevada law statutes in felony and gross misdemeanor degrees. And yeah, here we have, this is Patrick Melton saying, this is not from April. Aaron signed in himself on Nick's computer, and Nick has meticulously backed it all up for months.
Can we just savor and appreciate the unbelievable indiscretion of posting something like this in a Discord server? Can we just, hi Vicky, can we just appreciate the almost mind-boggling stupidity of going into a Discord server? And, as with all Discord servers, you never know who the hell is logged in. You never know who's watching. You never know who's screenshotting everything, and you never know who's sharing it. So look at him. This is not from April. Aaron signed in himself on Nick's computer, and Nick has meticulously backed it all up for months. Incredible. And Aaron shut it down this morning, and that was in September. But he has it all saved, meaning Rekieta has it all saved. And somebody named Moody says, and there it is, whatever this is, haha. All right. Well, everybody's going to be laughing very soon. Let's continue.
And Aaron has shut it down this morning, but he has it all saved. And he basically goes on and he confesses more. I've been very misleading on purpose. Nobody knows anything. Continuing on stuff, just with talking, about everything Aaron related. Nice little thread. We went over the thread, I believe, in one of our shows. So there you go. And it was interesting. It was an interesting read. So then we fast forward after this happened. And yeah, as you can see, Patrick has been having a little bit of a meltdown.
A bit of a tanty-poo.
He's coping. All right. Just a bit. So here's breaking Baldo news saying, this is just all stuff Nick Rekieta made up, Your Honor. Exhibit A very heavy-set man bragging he has the knowledge of Aaron Emholt's confidential banking data. And as you can see here, this person says maybe he logged in on his Google account on April's phone. This person same here. And then in the reply to banking data, is Patrick, again, we said this already, but let's say it again. This is not from April. Aaron signed in himself on Nick's computer. Nick has meticulously backed it all up for months. Aaron shut it down this morning.
What a pal.
But he has it all
You're a
saved.
great friend,
And the
Milton.
initial post here from the Breaking Baldo News World exclusive that came out sometime last week. Breaking Baldo News said, explicit permission from Aaron M. Holt. Breaking Baldo News reveals DM conversations in which Aaron M. Holt suspects Nick Rekieta accessed his Google account without authorization.
And he was
Further
right for
felony
once.
charges are likely. We go on here and, we read this already. And this was Aaron talking to Breaking Baldo News. Here comes Patrick Melton, NLO, coming in, says, Aaron wishes it was just his email. Lol, wait till you all know what I know. Ha, ha, ha.
Is there some sort of an award for almost mind-boggling stupidity in openly confessing in writing to a crime in a motherfucking Discord server? Because this Patrick Melton guy, what can one say? What can one say about this level of arrogance and idiocy? Well, let's continue.
Continuing on to imply more, and in a weird sort of turn of events, Patrick is talking about all the cock porn he has watched in regards to Aaron as some kind of weirdo or something.
Yeah, because they also downloaded his search history.
So anyway, NLO continues on and he says, this allows so much you can't fathom. For instance, Aaron gets an email with every PayPal and Venmo donation. So if you can watch his inbox and see the real donations, you can put together a chart of fake donations.
Amazing.
And now we can top it off with this clip right here. Let's play it.
Oh, no. Oh, no. And then think about how important email is to other services. For instance, maybe every time you get a PayPal or Venmo donation, you get an email about it.
Maybe you do.
In which case, it would be very easy for someone to watch your show and your inbox and start to put together a graph or timeline of fake donation.
Who does this?
This has ramifications. I don't think people understand.
No, Melton, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand what it is that you have now stupidly gotten involved in because you think you're this supervillain master criminal.
If it's true.
Breaking Baldo continues on and basically wraps it up with saying, due to good sources and our own deep dive into the NLO Discord, it is evident that Patrick Melton intended for Rekieta Law to slow drip data out from Aaron M. Holt's Google account, leaving him hopelessly confused as bits of information were dropped over months. However, because Nick and Melton are absolute tards, it is likely they exposed the conspiracy to Aaron before it even started.
Amazing.
By either Aaron detecting the intrusion before the prawn leak, or Meltards talking about their plot on a publicly available text channel. It appears double-cross agents in NLO Circle told Aaron what was happening. At 2 Onions doesn't put Patrick Melton into a massive tailspin in fear of a real court case with his beloved Mubi and Nick putting his head in the sand and pretending he never committed a federal crime,
which he
did.
It
is also worth noting that in this, well, whatever you would call it, maybe a gaslight technique by Patrick, he basically says that he lies all the time. So as a type of defense, but that seems pretty dumb, as Sean pointed out. Lying about committing felonies is a really moronic idea.
Well, thank God an adult
I'm just a comedian and I lie all the time. I wonder how the judge will take that. It's really, really dumb to do this for several reasons. Not going to be any real authenticity. There's not going to be any real legitimacy out of you. It's going to be the equivalent of a sextard that just wants to go ahead and label you something just because they don't like you. So again, not really much, but I can see why certain sectards and Mr. Senate haters are big fans of Rekieta and Melton. Makes a lot of sense why they would back up the Baldo King.
All right, so I think that we have now gotten a good background on what it is that happened. Okay. Now we're going to get a lawyer on, Legal Mindset, who is going to explain why all this matters, why it's not just, internet fuck shit, right? So let me show you this video that he did, which was quite good, and we will get a better understanding of how serious this is and the legal ramifications. Let's listen.
Bald Eagle says, if the account was left on a PC or device that was on Nix and was by consent, no. They do say don't leave your account on a device you don't own for this reason. No, that's not implied. No. Would you, okay, think about it reasonably. Would you expect somebody to have access to your stuff because you went on their computer once, that you can access everything, including privileged emails with his attorney?
Imagine.
Come on, man. Come on. 18 USC 2511, interception and disclosure of wire. So this is kind of, wire fraud, right? So you've got
Wire
here
fraud.
intentionally
Sounds serious.
intercepting, endeavor to intercept or procure any wire, oral, or electronic communication right there. That's it too.
Mhm.
That's it too. Boom. You're done. If you disclose any communication
Mhm.
to any other person
Mhm.
intentionally, it's clearly intentional,
Yep.
right?
I hope you guys are paying attention because
This is crazy. Also, here's another one. Intentionally endeavoring to disclose any wire, etc., knowing or having known the information was obtained through the interception of communication in connection with a criminal investigation. Nick is being investigated criminally.
Right.
Or having obtained or received the information in connection with a criminal investigation with the intent to improperly obstruct, impede, or interfere with a duly authorized criminal investigation. Nick is fucked.
He
Now,
sure
Melton, so people say, well, Melton didn't do it. Well, here's the thing.
Here we go.
There's something called in cahoots,
Mhm.
right? In cahoots, meaning you are in on it as part of that, right?
That's right.
So these are things like, attempt, but more importantly, conspiracy, right? If you are engaging in a criminal conspiracy, and I think it was the Keno Casino that came up with the term, the Rekieta crime family. I love that. It's so great. If the godfather of the Baldo, Nicholas Robert Rekieta, is telling you to go out there and commit crimes, he's liable. By the way, same thing with Johnny Somali, right? So if Johnny Somali is telling his Discord to do things, that's a conspiracy.
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? If somebody is going into their Discord server and recruiting people to commit criminal acts, like, I don't know, maybe stealing passwords, like hacking people's accounts, like stalking, like, I don't know, contacting the authorities fraudulently. I mean, the mind reels. There's so many possibilities, right? So many possibilities. Harassment. And everybody in the Discord server knows. And people carry out these acts, or, they're aware of it or they participate in it. Guess what? That's a conspiracy. And that falls under the RICO Act. Yep. You heard it here first. Well, not first, obviously. He said it first, but. And, you can wipe your entire Discord clean, but, Discord still has a record of what kinds of communications were shared, not only in the main Discord that, all the commoners participate in, but the little secret Discords that are offshoots of that Discord. How very interesting.
Right? If he's telling others to do it, that's a conspiracy. If he's doing things in furtherance, that's a conspiracy. And there are specific laws, it's called RICO laws, that are meant to deal with that and take down the godfather. Right? So if people are acting on behalf of Nick, which by the way, he absolutely does, he directs his subordinates, and you know who they are at this point.
Yep.
It's kind of clear. He has certain surrogates that he directs them to do things and to say things. And
You know, like sharing hacked passwords. I'm just throwing that out as an example. As a hypothetical, passwords obtained somehow. We don't need to speculate. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
And the ones that are still doing it are clear. The washers, the sweepers.
Hey, Mary.
They can all be brought in to the extent that they're involved in the conspiracy, right?
They can all be brought in to the extent that they are involved in the conspiracy. Did everyone hear that? Okay. Yep. All of them, everybody involved in any kind of criminal activity in a Discord server. You just think you're sitting around with a bunch of dorks talking about your breakfast or, you know, who's a jerk and who got fat or whatever. But if there's other shit going on in that Discord, yeah, just saying.
Into consent to the extent that there's proof of that. So there's a lot there. What was glaring with Melton is he admitted to it. He admitted to what was there. Gemma for 2 says wiretapping code. Exactly. Thank you. Brian for 99 says, even if it was all a joke, the joke will get you an interview with the FBI. Ask Martha Stewart and General Flynn. Exactly. He's playing but this is what happens when you're on drugs. Because clearly, look, guys, what's sad about this to me is
Did somebody say on drugs? Did someone say, did he mention drugs? Are you suggesting that perhaps a person who is under the influence of drugs could possibly make really bad decisions and trust the wrong people? Is that what you said? Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
I've heard people that are on drugs. Okay. I've seen people that are on drugs. Okay. It's not good. It's extremely bad, but it's clear when somebody's on drugs.
It sure is.
So
very clear.
To me, I hear Nick's voice, and especially in that video when he was talking with Melton in the first video. He's clearly high or drunk or something. He's not sober. It's not a sober man.
No, he's not.
Todd sent me for 2. So Sesame Street really took a bad turn there. Oh boy. Richard Fitzwell says if Aaron had any lawyer comms and Nick accessed them or backed them up, what does that land? I assume possession. Well, here's the thing. If Nick is accessing them, first of all, as a lawyer, Nick could be sanctioned by the bar.
Obviously.
So to me, it's very hard to get a lawyer disbarred. It is.
That's
and by
true.
the way, his fees have lapsed. So technically he's not an attorney. He's still a lawyer because a lawyer means you've gone to law school. An attorney means you've not just gone to law school and passed the bar, but you're an active lawyer in good standing. So he's not an attorney, but he is technically a lawyer because he's gone to law school. So they could remove his status altogether. They could disbar him completely because he's
a criminal
going in intentionally and looking at his lawyer emails.
Right.
So yeah. Rogue Wolf for 5 says, since this would come to a trial later than the drug charges, would that mean he's sentenced as a repeat offender? Are you talking about Johnny Somali, Rogue Wolf? For Johnny Somali, yes, I've talked about how in the Korean system, they very commonly have that reverse pyramid. So they'll get you on one and then another that's more severe and then more severe and more severe. And so on the subsequent charges, you're getting maxed out. That's for Johnny Somali. For Nick Rekieta, who is a nuisance streamer of his own kind, right? There's a lot of similarities between Johnny Somali and Nick Rekieta. Nick Rekieta just at this point.
Imagine going from the founder of LawTube with 100,000 concurrent viewers in a stream with a whole community of people who respect you to being compared to Johnny fucking Somali. What an unbelievable fall from grace.
He says extreme stuff for attention. And at this point, I also do fully believe he's drama farming. He also may be making some of the April posts on on X, which is why I'm not covering those, because I believe some of those may be intentional drama farming, because that's pretty much all he's got left. He doesn't do legal analysis anymore. I mean, he's given that up completely, 100%. He does cooking streams and complains about his detractors, and Aaron Imholt and a Nate, which, by the way, Nate the lawyer, I want to say one thing real quick, and I don't know whether Nate will watch this or not, but dude, Nate, you're a good guy, and what he said about you was fucked up.
Nate is great. I don't know what Rekieta
simply
said.
For covering things and for saying things and saying the truth is wrong. All Nate said was there was that at one point he said he was going to give us stuff above and beyond the Nate was going to give all the law tubers some cut that participated beyond just what was there. And he didn't do that. Did he super chat us? Sure, but he always super chat us. He super chat us before, he super chat us after. We super chatted him back. I gave Nick Rekieta as much money through super chats as I received from him, right? Because he would give me a super chat and send him one back, right? It was like a tit for tat.
Okay, so imagine, if you will, that you have created this community and you develop different levels of friendship with the people in the community who are other content creators who are all in the same profession or the same genre, let's say. Some of them become actual real life friends. Some of them are just internet friends. It really doesn't matter. Now, imagine then that you say to them, all right, well, if you appear on panel, I'm going to pay you X amount of money. And then you cheat all of them. You don't follow through. Now, imagine that I'm not talking about like the commentary bros community. I'm not talking about Tommy C and Nick Diorio and Augie and people like that. I am talking about a community of attorneys. Do you honestly believe that these attorneys are going to be like, oh, that's okay, no problem, when they see that the guy who's cheating them is making money hand over fist and can certainly afford to make good on his end of the bargain? You don't think that that's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths? It would annoy me. Let's put it that way. It's just the wrong group of people to rip off.
That sort of thing, right? So it's not that there was nothing else we received, but he had no obligation to do that. He had no obligation to promise that at all. But it's just, if you promise something, you should do it, right? That's just a principle. So that's all that Nate said. And Nick got unhinged. He attacked him. He made personal attacks on him.
Well, that's awful.
It was just completely uncalled for.
We
but
love
once
Nate.
again, it shows the tactics that these people use. If they don't win and get their way, they switch to ad hominem and they start making personal attacks. It's really fucked up. Rogue says for 5, since this would come on the trial later than drug charges, wouldn't that mean he's sentenced as a oh no, sorry. It depends. If it's federal, it's a different system altogether for Nick.
Federal.
So I believe this is it. Oh yeah, here we go. From Breaking Baldo News here still. Premeditated intent to engage in a conspiracy to distribute confidential information gained by illicit means. Let's see what we got here.
Wow.
It's been very misleading on purpose. Nobody knows shit. So
wow. Getting a hold of confidential information distributed by illicit or illegal means or whatever he just said. You mean like passing around people's passwords? You mean like trying to blackmail people by saying, I have your password and you'd better watch it or else? Things like that. I'm just, again, this is just off the top of my head. This is an example I'm giving you.
He's implying that, you know, the thing is, he thinks this is all cool. This is in his Discord, I think. But the thing is, he's, by stating this, he's showing that he has knowledge of it. And he said, oh, I know, I've seen it, I have the information, right? Let's continue here. Literally, Aaron has been getting legal advice from Sean, and Nick could watch it all. So if this is true, which I don't think he actually was getting legal advice, I'll have to ask Sean about this, because I actually haven't. I don't know if Sean's made a statement on this, but if he was, then this is a confession that Nick was inferring on confidential attorney-client conversations, right? This is literally snitching on himself. And then Nick would send me Aaron panic searching to see if he was defaming me.
Amazing.
That's not panic searching. I mean, you should be educated on that, right? Aaron searching, can I be sued for defamation without being served with cease and desist? Dude, once again, what? I literally have the proposal he emailed the station. You know how no.
You know, people like Patrick Melton need to thank their lucky stars that stupidity doesn't land you in jail. They really need to get down on their knees and say, thank you, God, thank you, Jesus, whatever, that my being a knuckle-dragging idiot who thinks that he's freaking, I don't know, James Bond or in the CIA, thank God that my idiocy won't land me in jail. Now, maybe all this sharing of this information or being in possession of illegally obtained information, wire fraud, this is all federal, you guys. It's federal law. This is not some podunk bullshit statute in some horse's ass corner of Minnesota. This is the big time. These are federal laws that are being broken. Just want to point that out.
You know how no now? You know how now? Yeah, because Nick gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, just proving all of this over and over and over again. Now, Nick says, Nick claims now that it didn't do it. Nick explicitly said apparently that he didn't do anything. He didn't tell him to do anything. But once again, I'm not believing a word out of Nick's mouth because obviously Nick is not going to admit to a crime 100%. He'll do it inadvertently, but he's not going to openly say, yeah, I committed X crime.
I mean, come on. Who the hell else would have given that idiot Melton all this information? April? No. We know who. We know who. Because Nick is trying to run some ridiculous suicide squad that was appropriately named, consisting of himself, Melton, and Ethan Ralph. And you see how beautifully that's worked out. You chose badly, Rekieta.
Right? So what we ultimately need, we do need the proof, we do need the evidence from the computer, right? We ultimately need to see the computer, see how it was accessed, right? Somebody messaged me that Sean says he's not commenting on private conversations. Okay. Well, that's fine. Thomas Dean says, Nick's Catholic, right? As a fellow Catholic, I find him deeply disappointing. The stuff with his kids to drugs to being subsidized. He's not Catholic.
No, he's not Catholic.
I'm technically Catholic. Nick is not. Maybe you're confusing the two of us. Technically, I'm Catholic. So technically, although I would be very long overdue a confession and a communion. So I'm way overdue. It's been a minute. Nick was raised Catholic, but he is not Catholic at the moment.
Not at all. Not even close.
Definitely not practicing.
Okay, Anna, a warning. All right. Ethan Ralph's lore is so deep. Ethan Ralph's lore. Hey, hi, Breeze. Ethan Ralph's lore goes way back, and there is so much of it that I wouldn't even know. Like, I think he's one of those people whose Kiwi Farms thread is like divided into multiple compartments or multiple different threads because there's just too much. There's too much of it. The violent confrontations he's gotten into, flying to Portugal to fuck up Andy Worski or Andy Worski's sister or something, and getting beaten up in the streets of Lisbon, I believe, and getting his Merce stolen and listed on eBay. He's got a 50-state warrant out for him now because he idiotically live streamed an entire hearing. And so the state of Minnesota issued this warrant for him. I believe that he was served 3 separate times at his wedding in Las Vegas, if memory serves. He lives in Mexico like an animal. He's lost all of his big donors. The guy is out of his goddamn mind, and this is who Nick Rekieta has to turn to. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Roan Harushin. Yeah, and by the way, I was raised Protestant. I was raised Methodist, actually Methodist, right? My story, I've told it before. I was at one point engaged, and that person wanted to always have a Catholic wedding. So that's why I did the class to do the conversion, and the bishop came over and gave me the special oil and the conversion ceremony, right? But yeah,
Is that Boogie? That looks like Boogie.
Actually, worse than that, Nick is going to be the Ethan Ralph of the law tube sphere. And, you know, there's a lot of talk, too, about him controlling people and him, you know, him kind of taking over stuff. And to me, when I thought of that, I think that Nick looks a lot like a Mr. Jones over here, because there was a talk about April not having internet, kind of being isolated, you know, having to keep allegiance to the dear leader. Okay, here it is. Now, I will mention one last thing. This is more for the lulz. In case you didn't know,
that's Ethan Ralph, by the way.
Some stuff also went down with one of Rekieta's allies, Mr. Rage Pig over here.
Yep.
But there was a little incident right here that was kind of funny. Let's play this. This is a funny moment here.
By the way, retweet this.
Oh,
I just tagged.
This is a funny moment.
Law Tube Sean, the fat fucker, and I said your fat ass is next.
In case you guys haven't seen this one.
We want to start cases on everybody for internet
This
bullshit.
is just
Okay,
absolutely
all
insane.
right, you know, if that's the way you got.
There it is. There it is.
If that's the way you got.
Nick Rekieta's foot soldier, everybody.
If that's the way you
Unbelievable.
Oh boy.
What an embarrassment.
Feet up in the air. Oh, revenge of the chair. All for talking shit about our boy Law Tube Sean.
That's right.
For as he's talking smack, karma hits him in the face, right? Mwah, perfect. I love it when people just they get it, instant karma. That is instant karma. Instant karma. And you hear the bottles in the back, because those bottles, in case you guys don't know, they're filled with urine.
Nice.
It's
Sienna.
Absolutely, because he doesn't get up, so they just fills him with urine and leaves him behind him. So absolutely great. Absolutely hilarious. There's people in the chat. Sweet. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a good moment. But our Rekieta ally here, Mr. Ralph, who's down there in Mexico, he's now gotten Meme Copium covered this. So shout out to Josh. He has a nationwide body warrant for him.
That's right.
A nationwide warrant.
I tell you.
To execute against him anywhere in the U.S. They will take him and haul him off to Minnesota.
That's right.
So if he goes to California to see his son, I believe Xander, at the border, they would grab him, because they have these databases nationwide, so it's everywhere. Then the border agents have this. Grab him, haul him off to the jail. Minnesota would fly people out. They'd fly him back, and they'd drag him there before the judge.
Good to see you, Tally.
And that is all because he was given access to the court streams.
Yep.
Told not to stream it, though. He had access, and he indeed did stream it. Right?
See, how many times do I have to tell these tards on the internet that if there are no cameras in the courtroom, if you're not living in like California, Florida, some state like that, that allows trials to be broadcast, screenshotting off of Zoom or recording a hearing is illegal. It is illegal. I don't know how many more times I have to say it. I don't know how many times I have to underline it, star it, asterisk it, put exclamation points around it, draw a heart around it. It's illegal. You're not permitted to do that. You can't record it. You can't broadcast it. You can't put it on your channel. So just for the sake of all the legal experts out there who are like, but I got a Zoom link and I saw the hearing. It doesn't mean you can fucking record it, and it doesn't mean that you can broadcast it. And again, it does not mean that you can share screenshots from the fucking Zoom hearing. I mean, I know that I might as well be talking to myself at this point when I say this stuff, but it is actually against the law. So,
gotta love it. Gotta love to see it. Right, he has several kids. Okay, well, I didn't know that part.
All right, so that was that. Anna, I don't, like I said, I wouldn't even know where to begin to direct you. If you go to the Ethan Ralph thread on the farms, it is a labyrinth of fuck shit and insanity because Ralph is crazy. Hey, Dropfoot, how you doing? Good to see you. And I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, I mean, there's so many different facets to it. The kill stream, the way he went after Medicare, and now apparently, I don't know if you guys saw this, but apparently, there's been a little bit of a tiff over at Keno Casino because Ashton is very mad at Andy because Ashton wants to get rid of their Discord server. And he was like, yeah, you know, Andy wants it. And I'm guessing it's Ashton. Who the hell else would have posted this in their Discord? But he was saying that, you know, Andy wants to hang on to it for reasons of ego or attention or whatever. I am well, thank you. And it's madness. It is absolute madness because I think that slowly but surely, when you get burned more than once in a Discord server, you start to realize, my God, what the hell am I doing? I don't know who any of these people are. These people are internet strangers. We don't know each other. And for all the people who are posting in a server, there are other people who are observing and you don't know who they are. And so why would you risk your sanity, your privacy, and everything else by oversharing in a Discord server? So I guess that I don't know if it was related to something that they saw Medicare share in a Discord server or whether people did something untowards in their Discord server. My point is, NEGZ's Discord server is very, very calm. It's very calm and very sedate. It's nothing like the old Discord servers. There are other Discord servers that are absolute garbage fires where you really risk posting anything because it's a problem or it could potentially be a problem. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There you go. So yeah, Beth and the others put memes in NEGZ's Discord server. It's just meme-a-palooza. It's very, very innocent, very, very sweet. No fuck shit. People talk about cooking. I mean, it's like really tame. And NEGZ shows his new t-shirt designs and things like that. It's very, it's not the kind of server that's going to get raided by the feds, if you know what I mean. So anyway, all right, guys. I don't have anything else today. I just thought that we would have a very interesting conversation about RICO statutes and criminal conspiracies that take place, yes, in Discord servers, and how they can end up getting you in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. So, all right, guys, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Do not forget to drop a sub and a like on your way out. If you want to become a member, the link is posted up top. You can see the scroll at the bottom of the screen. If you want to send a tip, we would appreciate it. Thanks again to everybody for their support. I appreciate all of you more than I can say. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what the genre is. You know, Karsten fills me in on the drama in the crochet community, which I understand is quite intense. All right, you guys, thanks again. And I will see you guys the next time. And once again, thanks to all of you. We appreciate you.